Hello, and thank you for joining 9 Online this morning and allowing me to speak into your life and into your house about encouraging your children and those that are in our life circle. I'm Steve, the children's pastor here at Bible Center Church. Today we look at 1 Chronicles chapter 28, verse number 20. David also said to Solomon, his son, "Be strong and courageous, and do the work. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord God, my God, is with you, and he will not fail you or forsake you until all the work of the service of the temple of the Lord is finished." How do you and I, in these moments, encourage our children or those that are in our life circles? When I'm having a really hard time even looking at my living room one more time, my kitchen, fixing another meal, or cleaning up one more mess. At one moment, you and your kids are having a great time, maybe doing a dance party, playing games, or even watching movies, grabbing snuggles on the couch. But the next moment, you feel like you're with Bill Murray, living out Groundhog Day over and over again. You and your child feel overwhelmed by the amount of work that you have and they have to accomplish in one day. Or maybe for you, you're feeling overwhelmed with the amount of work that you have to accomplish and the lack of work that your child has to accomplish each and every day, trying to find ways just to keep them engaged or busy. In these interesting and challenging days, we're going to face many different emotions, and they're going to be more intense each and every day. I want you to imagine with me that your emotions are an elephant, which at this very moment, I imagine many of you are laughing on the inside and even on the outside, saying, "Steve, you can't even imagine how true that really is." I also want you to think about this. Your thoughts are a rider, and the rider has the opportunity to guide the elephant, the emotions, through each day or not guide the emotions through the day. Our thoughts are a rider. Emotions are the elephant. The rider, thoughts, can guide and direct the elephant, emotions, through seemingly impossible tasks when they work together. When the rider and elephant team up to accomplish tasks, they can clear pathways, move obstacles, and make way for others to go from where they are to where they need to be. When the elephant or emotions are allowed to run wild without the rider guiding, a stampede begins, and everyone and everything in its path faces sheer destruction. Take a moment and get a picture of a jungle filled with foliage and now a stampeding elephant. Things are cleared, pathways are made, but the carnage, it's incredible. Where are you today with your thoughts, being the rider that directs your emotions and those that are around you? Has your rider taken a seat, or has she harnessed the power of the emotions? How are you directing the way you lead your family and even ourselves? You see, fear and discouragement, what Solomon faced, are real things we feel, and they reveal that something is going on inside of us and potentially outside of us. We can use that power to help us accomplish tasks, to accomplish and go on a journey. These feelings for us are real, and they are real for your children. Your children have their own set of fears and discouragements. Today was probably not the day that they planned, and they probably had to eat something that they really didn't want to eat. And they had ideas and thoughts and imaginations of how this day would go. Those are all fears and discouragements. They may have had to eat something that they didn't want. They may have had to watch something or do something that they didn't want to do, or a place they didn't want to go. Those are all disappointments. Fears, they may wonder when this will end. What's going to happen next? Where are their parents going to begin? When will their parents begin to work at a different place? And what if my parents can't help me on this problem? Or what if I get it wrong? Or what if I lose my friends? Or what if I can't remember the answers to Those are your child's fears. And often what can happen as moms and dads is we can gift our fears to them on top of their already full plate of emotions, especially in these moments. That's not what good leaders do. We are in uncharted territory, and although we do not know what might happen, our fears, and we may not like everything that is happening, discouragement, we are called to lead our lives and those whom God has entrusted under our leadership well. This means that I, a leader, do not add more to their already full plate of emotions, but direct their thoughts to help them direct their emotions. I help them just like David helped his son. I give them realities each and every day. In everyday moments, there are obstacles that lay across the pathway in the jungle of life that create obstructions that need to be cleared. With Solomon, there were obstacles in the way of getting the temple built. David gave clear thoughts to help guide Solomon's emotions. He placed Solomon in the driver's seat of his emotions. No one had built a temple. The people had been, for many years, nomadic. Solomon was the third king. The first king was a poor leader and did not listen to God. David was a good king with a heart after God, but made poor choices, which cost him dearly. Here was Solomon's dilemma. How would he handle this pandemic? In our pandemic times, there is so much uncertainty, cloudiness, insecurity that creates its own set of obstacles on top of the daily challenges. Our thoughts can give up and allow emotions to run wild and out of control. This is where we need to take up courage, strength to continue. We need to help build strength and courage in our children and those in our life circles. Look at David. He had an example of how he approached his child, who is now at this point an adult. He approaches them with gentle reminder that to look at the goal, to look to how God was with him, look at how things have been divided in sections, and to stay focused on God's goal. This is the work as moms and dads we are given to accomplish. We are asked by God to lead, guide, direct our children, both in thoughts and emotions, leading them in a path for them to walk through this brand new jungle. When we direct a child or he or she comes back with words like, I cannot, discouragement, I don't know, fear, what if, fear, I have tried, discouragement, I don't know, fear, embrace them. That's what David did. He did not minimize them. Why? Because Solomon felt fear and he felt discouraged. He felt the responsibility and weight of what was going to be accomplished and needed someone to help put the rider, the thoughts, on the back of the elephant, emotions, to give him the enthusiasm to accomplish the daily tasks. We each have to work to accomplish. Some of the work is visible, while other is invisible, done inside of our person, revealed through our outward actions and even attitudes. As we act in a way that lets us help others remove obstacles, we are using our thoughts to guide our emotions to make productive pathways that reveal strength and take courage. Solomon was giving up on his thoughts that guided his emotions and allowing his emotions to take control. His emotions were driving him to feel overwhelmed, distracted, disconnected from the project, and distracted from seeing God in his life and being the leader that God called him to be. David, when he came to his son Solomon about contemplating the temple, saw and recognized that Solomon needed someone to gather his emotions in check with a kind and caring direction. David calls his son to focus in on the work that needed to be accomplished and use his emotions to accomplish the goal. What's guiding you today? Are you allowing your thoughts to control your emotions? Are you staying focused and helping your children stay focused that God is with you, by your side in this moment? Those thoughts will energize our desires, clear a pathway for our emotions to help us accomplish the task. Today, let's remind each other, God's with us. He has a goal for us. Those thoughts must control the emotions, or our emotions will take an unbridled elephant and stampede out of control. Let's allow our thoughts to control our emotions. Thanks for joining me here, 9 Online with Steve.